Our new apartment has a back garden, and from my kitchen window, I can see two gorgeous Bloodgood Japanese maples. I have to admit, they've been driving me a little crazy because they're absolutely covered in suckers, those little branches that grow along the trunk. So today, I'm gonna get out there and I'm gonna prune them off, and not just for the health of the tree. I also have an ulterior motive. But first, why does a tree get suckers anyway? Suckers are basically just extra growth on the trunk of a tree. It usually happens in response to stress. You'll see it happening on trees growing in the hell strip, that narrow strip of grass between the sidewalk and the street. It also happens a lot in tree pits here in the city, because the conditions aren't the best. They're near a lot of cars, there's limited root space, and the trees are trying as hard as they can to photosynthesize. So they grow leaves where they shouldn't. Since these two bloodgoods aren't on the street, I suspect that poor soil is the problem. I'll give them a dose of compost and nutrients soon, and that should help. So then why should I cut them off if the tree is trying hard to photosynthesize? Well, if you let them go, the tree will eventually be a bush. It'll put more energy into growing the suckers than it will into upward growth. Removing the suckers will direct energy upward, so they'll branch more and put out more leaves at the top. You know, so it grows like a tree. And what's my ulterior motive? Bonsai starts. Each of these little branches has the potential to be a bonsai, although Bloodgood comes with some challenges when it comes to making them miniature. For one, the leaves won't come out smaller. With other maples, when you make them into bonsai, the leaves will also be miniature. But with Bloodgood, they stay about the same size. It's harder to get the small-scale look with full-sized leaves. So Bloodgood needs to get to about 2 to 3 feet high to look good as bonsai. But that's okay, because look who else has some suckers I can cut off. My emerald lace maple. These might be challenging too, since it's grafted onto hardier rootstock, which could mean a couple of failures. But hey, at least the leaves will be proportionate. So how do you make bonsai starts from cuttings? First, you remove a few leaves from the bottom and cut the stem at a 45-degree angle. This makes for more surface area for the rooting hormone to absorb into the stem. You can take this even farther and score the end with a knife or your pruners. The more surface area, the better. Then you dip the cut end into some rooting hormone powder and pot it in a really quick draining substrate. I've mixed cocoa coir for moisture retention and perlite and sand for good drainage to root these in. It sounds counterintuitive, but the potting medium needs to be both well drained and also moisture retentive. So coir, perlite, and sand should do the trick. You can also use peat instead of coir. And then I have humidity domes, or cloches, to keep the softwood from drying out. Let's get these babies potted. These will live under the laceleaf maples so they don't get scorched by the sun while they're rooting. They'll have to live in this substrate for about 4 to 6 months, so I'll check them in September to see how the roots are coming along. Then they'll live in larger pots or possibly in the ground for a couple of years until they're mature enough to go into a bonsai pot. And that's all there is to it. Now comes the hardest part, waiting. Tom Petty understood this, maybe he was a gardener. Check back in September to see how these babies are coming along. Wish me luck, I'll probably need it. Have you ever started a bonsai from a cutting? How'd it go? Let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know in the comments, and please like and subscribe to my channel, and hit that bell to be notified when I release a new video. You can also find me on Instagram at planty.jen, where I share photos and tips as well. If you'd like to learn more about me, please visit my website at plantyjenstinylandscapes.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Time for that theme song.
If your plants look sad and you lost all hope, tried everything, you're at the end of your rope. Should you throw them out into the street? Nope, just ask Planty Jen. If you wanna be a planty acolyte, learn the tips and tricks to keep them growing right. Water, fertilizer, and the right amount of light, just ask Planty Jen.